probably know my friend Gordon Tronson. He's a well-known, mad scientist, crazy builder, the real Doc Brown.
And notice how all the Doc Browns look like Doc Brown, with the white hair and somewhere he's got a time-traveling refrigerator.
What you probably don't know is Gordon takes on some insane side projects, things most of us wouldn't think of taking on. So when Gordon called to tell me he's taken on a '63 Ferrari that hasn't been seen since the '70s, I wasn't surprised. But when Gordon said it was customized by Tom Meade, I was shocked. If you're a classic Ferrari guy, you know that Tom Meade is responsible for customizing some amazing Ferraris. Now it's Gordon's responsibility to clean up everybody's mess and make this forgotten Ferrari sing again.
Yeah, so what we got here is obviously a Ferrari. The history of it, a '63 Ferrari 250 GTE with a 275 GTB front clip. These mods were done in Modena, Italy by a Tom Meade. And from what I understand is Ferrari was having trouble selling that particular model, so they decided to modify them to make them more saleable, I guess. So,
confused yet? Maybe the owner will come on a future video and set us straight. Do you have any information about this car? Let us know.
Anyway, this particular one was imported to the USA obviously back in the late '60s. It was a complete going registered vehicle in the '70s. The gentleman that owned it at the time somehow got into trouble, and the car got confiscated, put into storage. We're not sure how many years. Anyway, during that time, unfortunately, the original motor and transmission got stolen. Fast forward, my new friend Alex purchased the car without the motor transmission. He commissioned a body shop or mechanical, whatever, and they procured a late model V12 Ferrari engine, installed it. As you can see, it's got now fitted with Webers, which is sort of period correct back in the day. He then had a company decided to design and build some electronic ignition system for it with a crank trigger. Well, this never worked out. It just never ran. They just had all kinds of problems. And meanwhile, they went out of business. So needless to say, the owner is kind of stuck with a very expensive car that does not work. Somehow we got together and I had suggested to him that maybe we should just try putting a distributor on it. You guys kind of know who I am. I'm got the crazy Kiwi that's got multi-engines, hot rods and 4-engine trucks, and that's what I did with those. I put distributors on the back of the cylinder heads and done away with all the electronics. So we procured a Jaguar V12 distributor. I made an adapter for it to come off the back of the camshaft, off the back of the engine, and kind of figured we were on a winning streak. Well, needless to say, we did fire it and it did get it to run, but unfortunately only on about 9 or 10 cylinders. After doing some research, we now discover that this particular Ferrari V12 is not your normal V60 V12, which the likes of Lamborghini, early Ferrari, BMW, you can go all the way back to the 30s and the 20s with the Cadillacs and all the other vehicles out there that have V12s. They were all produced as a V60, and which makes the firing order even. If you take 60 into 360 or 720, it's 12 times, whatever. Well, having done some research on this particular engine, we come to find out it's a V65, which, for those who trying to wrap their head around it, and yours truly as well, what it ends up meaning that 6 of the cylinders are actually firing at 55 degrees top dead center, while the other 6 fire at 65 degrees. So needless to say, a regular distributor is not going to work. So we're back to square one, but fortunately we did find a company that is willing to assist in designing and building a new electronic system with the crank pickup, 12 coil pack, and that's where we're at now. So hopefully any day we'll have this thing running. Yeah, so anyway, that's the game plan. The owner, he actually has left town, and he'll be back in, I believe, October. And he's sort of given me a go-ahead to do whatever I want with the car.
It'll come back with 2 LT1s in it.
64, the back parts are 60. So during that time, hopefully we'll get the thing running like a sewing machine. And once that's done, then we're going to do some body work, paint the car, and get some of the chrome redone. End up, hopefully, have a nice looking Ferrari, presentable. Who knows? It definitely could be in the $1 million range. We don't know. Nobody really can put a number on it because it is sort of one of, and it's still a Ferrari. It has a Ferrari VIN tag on the firewall. So time will tell.
So,
thank you very much.
Well, you said you want to have this restored by the time the owner gets back?
We would like to have the thing painted, running upholstery, near complete by the time he gets back.
Which is when?
October.
Oh my God. So you want to restore this thing pretty much completely by October?
Correct.
You always take on these giant, massive projects. All right, man, Gordon. Good luck, and you know I'll be here to check
All
this
right.
out. You know, you said this originally came with a Ferrari motor in it.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So it left the factory with a Ferrari
Yeah.
motor.
The engine's actually what they call a
Colombo?
456M.
I'm just throwing out names, so I don't really know.
Yeah, and so I believe there's a Ferrari out there called a 356M. Anyway, that's what this engine is, and I guess the idea of the V60.
No, you're talking about the newer engine.
Yeah, that's what this is.
It's a 456.
456.
Yep.
Yeah. So the new engine, this particular engine happens to be a 456M Ferrari, which I believe they put in after 2000, and the idea was the firing order, or the V65 configuration, was to give it a more balanced in the engine department. How, why, when, no idea, but that's why they did this.
Nothing less than spectacular. I'm always amazed every time I'm over here. All right, good luck, Gordon.
Thank you.
I give the owner a ton of credit for going through the pain and expense of putting a proper motor in this car. Good on him.